Hey, my video last night cut off. Wanted to pop in. Headed to meet my wife at our son's school. Tater has a picnic today. But I was talking about low self-esteem, and I wanted to finish that up because here's the thing. It's a lot of things in our self-esteem, and we beat ourselves up. So yesterday I was talking about how some men who got all these muscles, a lot of times they're operating from insecurity from one area or another. And how sometimes a woman who has the best body in her 20s ends up body changing, hips spreading, putting on weight, and then hating that body that she's in, but not realizing somebody loved that body that she's in. And what we do, the things we do should be for us. It should be for our health. So if a woman say, hey, and I was looking today, I seen on my timeline, it was a doctor or something, and I clicked on it, and it was a doctor doing BBLs. And I get this stuff on my popular feed because my sister, she was always sending me these things, different places. She wanted to go get a mommy makeover or something like that. And so she was thinking about it, and she'll send me the places. So now it'll show up on my feed sometime. So I click on there, I see it. And me, I'm just a studier. I'm looking. And now, contrary to popular belief, when you're a grown man and you done live life, you look at a woman in a thong in like a doctor office, some women will think that turn a man on, that is attractive or whatever. It don't really do nothing for a grown man. Maybe a 13-year-old boy, but I could look at it just like a doctor looking at it. So I see this, and on the left is the before, on the right is the after. When I tell you, the left look like God intended it to be. It was so many booties that had just like a little teardrop. You know how like a little teardrop, how it's thicker at the bottom and a little slim at the end. I mean, a little, come up at the top like a teardrop. So many booties like that. Guess what? To a man, and then on the right side was the after, and it looked like two basketballs. Listen, on the left, that right there is way more attractive. It's way more attractive. It's way more natural. Well, it's all the way natural. And so natural, it looked better because that's what your body's supposed to do. When you're not a bodybuilder, when you're not working out hours a day, your body is going to do that. Your glutes gonna do that. And then they'll have like a couple of, little bit of body on the side where you can see like the two little, sections on their side. And then on the other side, it's completely, tight. And it's like, yeah, it looked good, but it looked good if you went in the gym and earned it, because you got to realize stuff got to be symmetrical. And this what a lot of times women don't think about when you go do this stuff. If you got meat on your arms and the meat on the back of your arms move, that does not go with a flat stomach. That don't go together. That does not go with a perfectly round, lifted booty. That don't go together. So now you could have a round booty, you could have a big booty, but it's gonna be it's gonna have a little extra somewhere. Over on the side, over on the bottom, It's gonna have a little extra, bulge on it. And that's natural. But we've been made to feel so insecure, and I don't understand it. Like, I just don't understand it. I'm like, man, why we can't appreciate the natural body? Like, why we can't appreciate just how God made us? And yeah, I get it. You want to do this stuff, and it's like a competition out there. It's like a competition. But you got to compete with yourself. This morning I got up, brushed my teeth, and I put some whitening strips on my teeth for an hour. Took the whitening strips off. Teeth were just as yellow as they was when I put it on. I said, Lord, this thing lying. I need to file me a lawsuit. This thing talking about remove years of stains in 1 hour. Y'all need to cut me a check. I think it was Crest or somebody like that made the whitening strips. And them whitening strips might have some toxins in it or something. I feel fine. But they sell them at the store, CVS, Walgreens. But that's what I did. And so I'm gonna do what I could do to work on me. I text my wife. She out right now picking up stuff for me for my dad, making him a little care basket. He going to the doctor tomorrow, and I just be thinking like that, trying to be thoughtful. And so she picking the stuff up for me, and we about to meet at the school. I had texted, I said, hey, tomorrow, can I drive you to school, to drop the boys off, and then can we go work out? We got a gym membership. And she said, yeah, that'll be cool. And so guess what? I'm going to work out, because she said I've been snoring. You know why I probably been snoring? Extra weight on me. Probably too tired. So I got to work on me. I got to get me 10, 15 pounds off of me. See if that helped with my sleep. Because I got to take care of me. I can't compare myself. And this is the thing. When you love the body you in, and you really start to look at people and analyze people, and you start to say, okay, well, where is this person operating from? Because some women will go get a BBL for them. They'll go do it because they don't like the skin they in, and they just want to get back to normal. They want to get back to where they were before the baby. Some women go get a BBL for a man, to look attractive to a man, because they envy the women who get all the likes on Instagram from the men. And so it's different reasons why people will do it. Of course, everybody will say they do it for them, but we know that's a lie. Because when we did stuff for us, we was cavemen. When we started doing stuff for other people, we became what we are today. And so you got to understand that. I brush my teeth because I got to talk to you. I brush my hair because I got to talk to you. I put on clothes because I got to talk to you. If I ain't have to do none of that, I wouldn't know any different. We wouldn't know any different. We did this stuff because we start to smell. Teeth start to rot. So it's like, well, we got to come up with something. So this isn't happening. So think about this and understand this. And so when you start to look and you start to pay attention, you'll see that you could do things on your own. And when you start to analyze other people, you start to identify where they're operating from, and it makes you feel better, because you say, okay, well, this person is operating from insecurity, so why am I envious of this person? Like, why am I envious of this person's body when they went and got a surgery, or they went and doing all this working out because of this reason here? So when I look at these men online, I see these men on Instagram, and they ripped and shredded. Me being a former college athlete, a lot of these guys not former athletes, some of them are. Me being a former college athlete and having had that body, I know what it takes. So for one, metabolism super fast. 2, body super young. 3, training every day, doing running and lifting every day, 6 days a week. So I look at now as a grown man, 38 years old, husband, father, do I want to train for 2 to 3 hours, 6 days a week? Like, can I train 2 to 3 hours a day, 6 days a week? Absolutely not. Now, back then I could eat how I want to eat because I was training every day, metabolism fast. Now at 38, I would have to eat real clean and train. And then you got to look at it and get some sleep. Some of these people go to bed at 9:30. My son practice is 50 minutes from my house and it doesn't end until 9. So now I can't take and compare this man who 28 years old with no bags under his eyes, 28 with no kids, with no bags under his eyes, to my bags under my eyes, because I know I'm getting out of practice at 9, getting home 9:50. My wife up doing something, so she ain't ready for bed. Last night, she probably went to bed around midnight. We sat down, we was reading. I was reading my book, she was reading her book. Then after we finished reading, I put on the TV, just kind of wind down, watching a little documentary on the man. Insane man that was, you know, doing what he was doing and eating people's heart and stuff. So I've been studying that man, watching that, just seeing. Can't say, well, no, it's human nature now, because daddy say he used to have some ideas on the show. He ain't say that yet on the Oprah interview I'm watching of his daddy, but I kind of see a little something in his daddy. And so I'm up doing that. Then I start to feel sleepy. I went on ahead, changed it, went to bed, and woke up by 8 o'clock this morning. So I can't compare my life to this guy's life, because actually not last night my son practiced an hour and 15 minutes away and it got over at 9. So I ain't get home till 10:15, 10:20, something like that. Then you still got to shower and spend time with my wife and wait till my son get in bed, because he taking his time, you know, showering and all that, getting ready for bed. So I'm already at 11 p.m. So I can't compare my life to somebody else's life. And that's why I'm sharing this, me personally, I'm using myself as an example, not to talk about me, but just so you could flip it and put yourself in these shoes and look at your life from these lenses and say, okay, what am I comparing myself to? Because you might be comparing your body to a woman who ain't had no kids. So you comparing your body to this woman who ain't had no kids, and it's not adding up. You comparing your body to somebody who half your age. As a man, you could be comparing your body to a man who, he would have been in the warrior tribe in Africa. That's his genetics. I remember talking to a lady on Twitter. Somehow she was following me, and I had followed back a bunch of people, over 50,000 people. So don't take it personal when somebody follow you sometimes. But I'll follow over 50,000 people. And one day, and I seen her post on the timeline, and I DM'd her, and I said, hey, because she was selling like a course and stuff. I said, hey, would you say that your, and I'm looking at these here knots on the side of my head. I just finished brushing them. Now see, I'm Nigerian and Cameroonian. You see what I'm saying? Based on Ancestry.com. So our hair texture probably different than somebody who from India. So what I look like comparing my hair trying to kink back up after I just got done brushing it. And so the lady I DM'd, I said, hey, would you say that your physique is more hard work or genetics? And she wrote me back. She said, I'm gonna be honest with you, Tony. It's genetics. She said, I really ain't do much for these abs. Like, she had a 6-pack of abs. And so she was selling a course. And so I'm pretty sure a lot of people buy the course and they thinking like they finna have her body. They finna have her abs. But I could tell just knowing women and knowing that it's 1 out of 100 women with abs. So just the way a woman's body is composed, a woman have to have a certain genetic makeup or a insanely freakishly work ethic in the gym to have abs. That's hard to come by, even for men, and we more muscular on average than women. And so I already knew the answer, and I asked her, and I was glad she was honest about it. And so I see this happening. And so you have to look at it and say, okay, yeah, this brother here, see, I'm from this region of Africa over here. We built like this, but we might have more meat on our bones. This brother here, he from the part of Africa that they really, really slim. So he just done put muscle on top of that slimness. Like, he don't genetically pack on weight. And so you make that comparison. You got to be able, when you looking at yourself and you thinking about your self-esteem, you got to understand, like, you beating yourself up about your education, but look where you come from. You got to look at where you come from. You got to see who your parents were. So you can't compare yourself to somebody who was raised a millionaire, lived in the suburbs, went to private schools. They had a different opportunity. They had a different advantage. So you can't take and put y'all life on the same thing because y'all not the same. You're not from the same place. So you can't look at your accent. Can't look at your height. Oh, you comparing your height. You want somebody else's height, whether it's taller or shorter, but your genetics different. So I want you to think about this as you're thinking about your self-esteem, and realize that everybody's struggling with something. Everybody insecure about something. That even if you had what somebody else have, it's something about their life that will make you miserable in your life. So appreciate the skin you're in. Appreciate the life you have. Appreciate where you are and who you are. Know yourself and love yourself, and enhance what you can enhance naturally, organically. But stop comparing yourself, because you don't want anybody else's life. Trust me. You don't want anybody else's life. You don't want everybody else's problem. Because see, here's the thing. I've seen some people that, now if this ain't the craziest thing I've seen, this car right here doing something, they dropping off or picking up, and they taking, and it's another truck on the other side. They done parked in a way I almost couldn't get through there, but I got through there, so they did it right. I say, why y'all done block the road like that? They threw me off. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, what I was saying, you got to look and you got to love. You got to look and you got to love yourself. And you got to stop comparing. You got to stop comparing yourself, because you could take and see somebody with this body. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Now, calm down now. Why you speed? Bro, we on a school road. Boy, people with they guys in their little trucks, boy, they be, listen, you're not in no sports car. Now listen to me, because I've seen this personally, and a lot of people don't realize this. But you could see somebody and they could have an amazing body, and you looking at their body and you like, man, they body amazing. Yeah, they body amazing because they working out like a madman, because they're parent died from cancer, and they feel like if they work out, it's gonna help them not develop that. And I've seen it in other ways, to where sometimes it's a situation where somebody catches a disease, and it's not seen, you know, it's something that you don't know. It don't show in that way. It might be in their genital, and they catch this disease, and they start working out every day, and they start eating this way, and it's because they don't want to have a flare-up. They don't want to have a flare-up or breakout, whatever it may be called, depending on their deficiency in their body. And so they make this change. And this is the thing, is a lot of times we don't know that. See, I've learned that, you know, being a life coach, because I get to talk to people and get to learn about people, and then I'm able to see, like, okay, this person is doing this and living this way, but this is the motivation. But if you're on the outside looking in, if you just looking at them from the outside, you don't know what their motivation is. You just think that they outworking you. You just think that they're more hungry than you. You just think that they're more disciplined than you. And yes, that is the case, but they have a motivation there. They got a motivation there. So it's something that's driving them, and that driving force, that matters. And a lot of times we don't pay attention to it. So if this man is insecure because of this, or this woman is insecure because of that, that'll drive somebody. So it's kind of like when you watch a movie. You may look at, so I just seen the movie The Woman King, and all them women are super fit. Like, they kind of got abs, you know, or just really flat stomachs. They got very, you know, cut up arms. And then they had one guy on there, he took his little shirt off, and he had abs, and, you know, his chest built up. And I'm sure my wife looking at the women body, you know, and seeing a comparison. I looked at this guy, I'm like, well, I ain't built like that. I'm trying to see my wife looking at him lusting. And so after I left the movie, I asked my wife, I said, yeah, did you like the size of that guy pecs, like his pec? Because I could do that now with my chest. And she said, I didn't. She was like, I really don't know what you're talking about. She was like, I remember seeing that he was, you know, fit or muscular, but I didn't look at the specific size of his chest. And I say, she's sitting here lying. Cause women went to making noise when he was on the screen. And the reason why I asked that, cause I'm like, now if my wife is attracted, if she okay with a chest looking like that, I'm gonna go and get my chest there. Me personally, I don't want my chest to look like that. Look like you got two enlarged hearts. You know, it just look, it's like, boy, you take one day off and you finna need a bra. And so I don't want my chest to be like that, because I already need a bra after I take a few days off. So listen, you got to look, when you look and you make these comparisons. And I had to think about this. And my wife said, she was like, yeah, these Hollywood actors probably work insanely hard when they coming up on a movie. And I'm like, if somebody finna give you a movie role and you finna be on a big screen, don't you think that's gonna be motivation? Don't you think that's gonna be motivation? So how in the world are we comparing ourselves to people on a screen when we don't have that same motivation? If we get that same stimuli, we're gonna get the same results. But if all we doing is getting up and going to work, that ain't that motivating. So this is why you have to have your self-esteem intact and know that you should never feel bad about yourself and insecure about yourself, because you living your life and you cannot compare yourself to somebody else's life. You got to love yourself and you got to do the work that you need to do, but you cannot compare yourself to other people. Hey, this Tony Gas, I done made it to my son's school. So getting ready to go and get in here. I need to see what time, 20 minutes early, and see what time I need to get in here. I see some parents already going in, so I need to go on, get on in there. But hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.